I have things for you.
Captain, hello.
We should make sure we're well
satisfied
supplied
to
for the
see
trip to
that you
Cassiopeia.
survived your most recent sleep cycle.
Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Got anything you need to offer? Load. Trade authorities always buy. Kiosk, right?
like the idea of being able to go from living quarters up the stairs into the actual cockpit. So I think below this, what I want to do is I want to add the 2x2 living quarters so that we have living quarters. Then we can go upstairs. We have the battle bay and the armory. Now, what I would really like to have happen is I can go from the front of the ship into the science lab or workshop. I want to add the workshop into here. So now we've got a pretty large ship already. Now, what to? I don't know if you do drastically. We're going to grab the grab. How much space we kind of. And connections like this have a door, so you have like round connections, square ones, and you can tell not a lot of decorations here at Deimos or structural pieces that I really like that'll blend well with the ship. So my goal at the moment is just to reattach everything so I can get it to fly to another system. So we're going to take all the pieces that we have detached, and we're just going to reattach them and get the ship flyable again. Squeezed everything back onto the ship. To save the rest of the parts, because I want to make sure to keep these landing gears, because I do like reattaching our big wing piece here with our landing gear and attach them like that. The main thing that I do want to replace are these pulse lasers. They are Starship Design rank 4, but we've got better options. We are also only allowed a certain number of weapons on the ship, but they have high range, high fire rate, and good hull and shield.
Anything? Need some work done? Sure, have at it.
Damage. But if you don't have high Starship Design, there's two options here that are really good.
We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for good.
Authorized personnel roll. Trent has to stay here.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? That's quite the claim, Captain. I hate to think what would happen if such a patently untrue statement reached the ears of the Cabinet. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. You have my undivided attention. something amiss, Captain? Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlais, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlais via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective. Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlais was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria, the pilot of the Warlock, the man I had to eliminate, to hide my secret. Why would I want to be in the good graces of the people who control my very life? I don't know, Captain. Maybe I still dream of a life outside these walls someday. A new face would be needed, of course, but it wasn't an impossibility. Though now, I'm not so sure. Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. It's why I had Orlais reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. something befitting the dedication to the colonies you two have shown. While, of course, they can't give you a command, responsibility like that has to be earned. The Cabinet does have access to considerable resources. I expect you'll be quite pleased with the result, and none of it would have happened without my intervention. You're being honored only because I arranged the situations where it could happen. Be grateful. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlez and Orlez alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
I have something for you when you have a moment. We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia. Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume. We should make sure we're well supplied for the next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the Cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the Captain just misspoke. Right? No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is dead.
That's quite the revelation.
Certainly putting it mildly.
Alive. Vey Victus is alive? How did you find him? Wait. You knew he was alive and didn't tell us? You were sworn to... You swore. You were just doing your duty, weren't you? Yeah, I guess I, of all people, should know what a burden that can be. Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you letting us know late is preferable to never. Now at least we can inform the cabinet and let them deal with him. I honestly don't know. If it were me, I'd make damn sure he never spoke to another human being again. But I may be a bit less than impartial. But for the wanton murder of civilians, I doubt anything's off the table. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away with something like that. But now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of the cabinet. Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs. They are.
Microbe needed minimal adjustment to account for heat leech anatomy.
And the Aseles seem like they're even better at tracking leeches than morphs.
Hell of a sight to watch, though, when they catch 'em. Like an open airlock guzzling angry spaghetti.
And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true? The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well. Did Reginald Orlais actually commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlais? It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use Terramorphs as weapons.
He did what? That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sinon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vayvictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. But I will note your request when the decision is made. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Indeed. Open relations at this point would be critical towards maintaining peace.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture to further display this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
The observers on Mars have proven such a gesture can bear fruit.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but our group is similarly split. Only the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Ready to lift off when you are, Captain.
Alive, crew! Just die already! done here. Carry on.
I picked up something you might be interested in.
Mr. Tofik, I am aware that this is
We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia.
Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer?
Honestly, now's not a good time. Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
It may be paradise, but that doesn't mean we don't run into trouble from time to time.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sukiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Hi. Captain, greetings. I will happily carry whatever you need. Farewell.
We should make sure we're well... I'd be happy to carry... Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume. I have word and we'll get underway. have things for you.
Hello, Captain.
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
You're human. Oh, we're human. From the planet. It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly...
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. This is Security Officer Bomani. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of...
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival... Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... Oh yes, of course. Where am I, man? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach... Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. So, he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Now that we know what's out there...
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
Here we are. Let's talk. We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal. But initially, I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go. Thank you, and Godspeed.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
We've got strict rules around here. Just stay out. Boy, am I glad you want some sort of...
If the other colonists knew how many times it cost them.
Wonder what else is out there.
How many meals does that guy eat?
And to think, all this time, we thought we were alone.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Never seen a ship like yours before.
Jemison, but this ship is starting to feel like home. I picked up something you might be interested in. We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia. If you think it will help, then feel... Okay, back to... Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Nice hat.
You're out there a lot, right?
Oh, this looks like a lovely place for us. When you have a moment.
It's my pleasure.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you... Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
You'd think we'd be a prime target for pirates, but they know to stay away for the most part.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
Ah, I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Come on, mate. Loads more interesting things to do outside. I am. And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm gonna cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there, causing all sorts of problems for our... You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Comes... We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners around the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before... Ah, we're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here. Temporarily. But it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their... Imagine the landscaping disasters they may come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live. And that's within your right. But as the CEO of Paradiso Group, I'm the one who has to make an... So, as much as I appreciate your feedback, it's not in the best interest of the Paradiso Group to take it into... It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, we'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return. Though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
I know this was a difficult decision. But if it's any consolation, I think you've made the right choice. Compared to the destruction of their vessel and relegating them to a life of servitude, I'd say this is the best chance.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
If you've heard about us elsewhere, chances are...
Interested in?
Can't wait for my shift to be over, so I can relax like...
I have something for you when you have a moment. I have things for you. Sorry to pull you aside like this, but I wanted to taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential. Indeed. Leaving that problem unchecked. I only wish that the United Colonies chose to exterminate the Terramorphs with... Apparently, their decision was based on... Then you were mistaken. I'm sorry. The Asili solution will take far too long. Unfortunately, there's no use... Unfortunately, anything that accelerates... You haven't let me down. You've simply given me cause for... I'll tell you what. Let's put this past us, shall we?
Yes?
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Something you might be interested in. We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia. I do? You must have read... Next stop, Cassiopeia, I assume.
Keep an eye on your valuables.
We could save valuable weight if we got rid of the pilot seat. Maybe an ottoman? Sure, that sounds like me. Oh, you should have just said that. Of course, Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. It's some minor adjustments. It's in good shape, too. Parts not cheap, though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor. It's a pretty big ad. True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps? Maybe it is selfish of me to demand such a price. Tell you what. Sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work. You're darn right it is. I'll get to work. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
Lifting off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
day, Captain.
The Constant is a piece of shit.
I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, how did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster than light travel and eclipse our poor old ship? I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here. Yes, of course. What grab drive? Just joking with you. All right. This will... I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work? Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary mod. Got it? Let's hop to it! Wow! Heard about you, but here you are.
Hey.
Keeping a 200-year-old ship running is, something wrong? There's still something left to do. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Good luck out there! Hey there. People always appreciate a good engineer, whether they know it or not. Something wrong? There's still something left to do. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. See you! Can't tell you how many... something wrong? There's still something left to do. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Careful not to touch anything on your way out. Something wrong? There's still something left to do. Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. So long! Looks like everything is good to go on both your end and mine. Can you inform the captain while they're finishing the installation? Thanks. All that's left now is to hope this gravity drive thing doesn't blow up. Yes! So many! Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to? Are we in contact with alien species? Thank you for... Good luck out there!
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change them.
We've got strict rules around here.
Careful waving that fancy gun around.
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done. We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds. Payment. I hope that's not all you care about. It's not enough to help a ship full of poor colonists searching. Still, you did help us. We don't have much to spare, but I'm sure we can find...
Familiar. Something from history slates that I've read. Oh, I feel I should know who this person is, but somehow it's escaped my memory.
Captain. It is pleasant to see you.
I can't believe I'm here. Thank you. Right now, I feel like I need... Phew. Okay. Yes. Yes, this looks correct. Those rock formations nearby look familiar. Good. Once we get to the campsite, we'll use that as a starting point. Let's go. Well, this is it. This is the spot where... Not exactly Paradiso. Yeah? Well, inside I'm... Look at this thing. I think we need to grab an emergency power cell to get the ship's computer up and running. Sure, if we're lucky. When I was stranded, I set up a distress beacon powered by the beacon was up there on the platform. That's what those look like on the inside. We've located where the other shuttle went down. I can't believe I... Yeah, I suppose. The telemetry data puts the wreckage out of range. We're going to have to head back to the ship and land on a different part of the planet. Let's get going. Right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
Captain, do you require my assistance? Look at this view. I don't... Judging from this debris, the crew's shuttle sustained far more damage than my own. Oh, those poor souls. This is what's left of the crew's shuttle. But it looks like parts were scavenged and dragged somewhere else. Could there have been survivors?
I'll shoot if I have to. Just turn around and leave. I know how to use this thing, and I will.
Oh my God. Who are you?
I'm nobody. Just go away! I'm not going to let anyone take my stuff again. No way. Both of you, just go! Yeah, sure. No. No way.
Stop it right now. Put away that gun and talk to us. We want to know what happened here.
See? You're not nice at all! I knew it! You're...
Sorry. Sorry. I was wrong to get so angry.
I don't know. You're kind of scaring me. Why take me home? I was born here. This is my home. You're going to have to come up with a better story than that.
You were born here? Oh my god. Your parents?
Jenna and Elias. Why?
Jenna and Elias. Private Jenna Marsh and Corporal Elias Obrist. You're their daughter. Listen to me. I knew your parents. They worked with me on the Dauntless. I'm Commander Sarah Morgan.
You're Sarah Morgan? Mom and Dad's captain? My parents used to talk about you all the time. It's like a dream to finally meet you. Yeah? Well, my parents are dead. My father died a long time ago. And my mother, it's just me here now.
Let me ask you a question. Actually,
Oh, yeah. My name's Sona.
Sona. What a lovely name. Sona, you mentioned a graveyard. Is that...
Buried? Yeah. It's a bunch of stones with those necklaces.
Thank you, Sona.
Okay, Sarah.
Phew. I'm trying to hold it together. There's just too much coming out. I'm just so relieved that you're here. There's absolutely no way I could have had. Am I? I feel. Oh, there's so much to process. If you want to help, then find that graveyard and bring me those necklaces Sona mentioned. I'm hoping they're my crew's gene. Good. Just be careful. Sona's monsters are undoubtedly hostile life forms that have claimed the grave.
No, no! How many times do I have to say it? I said I don't want to go! Leave me alone!
Sona, calm down and listen to me. It's much too dangerous to stay here all by yourself, darling.
I don't care. This is my home. You can't make me leave.
We can't leave her here. It's not safe. She has to come back with us to Jemison. Oh, I don't know what to do. Can you talk to her? I knew I could depend on you. Now all we have to do is convince this poor girl that she's better off leaving the planet with...
I can hear you talking about me. And I don't care what either...
Look, I'm clearly out of my element here and not in the right state of mind. Could you just...
Why won't Sarah That doesn't make a lot of sense. She's only known about me. That still doesn't mean I should leave the only home. Mom told me there were really bad people out there. Worse than the... But... leaving Mom and Dad behind... It's really hard. Even though they're dead. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry I yelled at everybody. I know you and Sarah... I'm going to go get my stuff, and then I'll board your ship. Don't worry, I'll stay out of the way until we get...
That poor girl. I realize that. We're ripping Sona from the only home she's ever known. And wherever she ends up, just promise me we'll check. Thank you. Look, before we leave Cassiopeia behind, I wanted to say one more thing to you. Perhaps at the overlook we passed on the way here? I promise it won't take long. Let's go. Look, before we head back to the ship, I wanted to tell you how much of an amazing... You had to push me to come out here, and if I hadn't have listened to you, the universe... Oh, yes. You know, this is the second time I've been on this world. And until this very moment, I never stopped to reflect at just how Oh, look at this place. This is the reason I'm out here, exploring the stars. Shedding this burden of my past has finally allowed me to open my eyes, wider than they've ever been. Still giving lessons to the teacher, eh? Well. Now, let's head back to Jemison. I want to give those gene tags you gathered to Admiral Logan. Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
Can I help you with something?
So, what's new with you today?
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Howdy.
Enjoy the penthouse. One of the finest views in New Atlantis. Welcome back. Did you find your answers?
And it's my duty to report that we found someone there alive. A child born from 2 of the crew that survived the crash. After her parents died. That poor girl spent years surviving on that hostile world. Alone. We abandoned her, Admiral.
I'm sorry. I had no idea. How could we have possibly known? Yes, of course.
What you'd call an unfortunate circumstance.
You're absolutely right, Sarah. One thing that I can assure you is that the names of these men and women will never be forgotten.
Thank you, Admiral.
Good luck to both of you. It's been an honor.
Once we're done here, we should have a little talk with Sona. Poor thing's waiting for us at the lodge.
Okay, hello. Pardon.
Hello.
Can't think of a better place to recharge and ready ourselves for our next mission.
Yeah? Did you want to talk about something? There you are. I was wondering when you'd come and say hi to me.
Hello, Sona. I see you found your way to the lodge without any trouble.
Yeah, it was kind of hard though. All these people around. Never seen so many people. Sarah gave me directions. She's really good at that. Riding that gnat thing was super cool. It was like magic or something. Like something from the stories Mom used to read. But the hardest part was having everyone staring at me. All these people in one place. It's kind of scaring me. I think I like it. I don't know yet. It's all really new to me.
You'll fit in just fine. You're one of the smartest people I've ever met. So, what do you think? Do you like...
At the lodge? Yeah, this place is huge. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. You must be like a bazillionaire, Sarah.
Oh, don't I wish? This place isn't mine alone. It belongs to everyone who's a part of... And I think it should belong to you too, Sona. I want you to stay here and make...
Whoa. Does that mean I get to go exploring with both of you? Or wait,
That's too bad.
do I...
I thought maybe you'd say, like, a moon or something.
I mean, this place is great and all, but ever since my mom taught me that there are hundreds of planets out there, and if it means I'd get my own ship...
Exactly. And don't worry. At the rate you're growing, it won't be long until you're grav jumping to unexplored star systems on...
I understand. Oh, and don't worry, I learn real fast, so you better get ready to have another member of Constellation signing on for missions.
I can't wait.
Well, anyway, thanks for letting me stay here. I promise I won't let either of you down.
I'm sure that you won't. Well, I think we should let Sona get settled. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to visit the Colony War Memorial now. I want to pay my final respects.